Good morning, beautiful people, or good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it is for you. We woke up in a beautiful spot this morning. We've been staying there for the last 2 nights, and it's just outside of Fort Nelson, which is a really small town in northern Canada. The spot that we've been staying at is literally under a bridge, down by the river. I was just telling them how we've been staying in a spot that's literally under a bridge down by the river.
When my parents make fun of me, and my friends make fun of me for living in a van down by the river.
Yeah.
We're legitimately down by the river right now in a van. You guys want to see where we're at?
Let's cue it.
Check it out. So those drone shots that you saw, they were taken. What was it called? Fort Nelson? I can't even find it on here anymore. They were taken right here at Fort Nelson in British Columbia. And today, we're trying to go all the way up here to Watson Lake, to the Lillard Hot Springs. And while we make this drive, we're gonna be doing a little Q&A from some questions that we got from people on our Instagram.
Woo! Q&A!
You ready for it? And the first question's a juicy one, and we're gonna start it right here. So question number 1 is from Brielle Helton, and she asked, would you ever trade in your bus for a Sprinter van? Would you ever trade in your bus for a Sprinter van? What do you think?
Only if I could sell it after.
If you could sell the Sprinter van after?
Yeah.
What about you?
Only if it was the specific model that doesn't constantly need work done.
Hold on, I wanna hop up here. It's a luxury vehicle, so any repairs are gonna be crazy expensive. So for this bus, if you needed to replace an engine of a Sprinter van, you could buy this bus 3 times. If you needed to replace a transmission, you could buy this bus 1.5 times. And any repairs that you have on a Sprinter van is just gonna be crazy expensive.
That's true.
And also, the space of these is so much bigger.
It's much wider. It's usually a little bit taller. If you plan on taking your vehicle off-roading and doing all this crazy stuff with it, then you're better off to get something that you're willing to just drive into the ground.
Yeah, unless, I guess it kind of brings up another point though. The one reason I would buy a Sprinter van is if I got the 4x4 and I wanted to do off-roading.
Right.
But this...
I love our Jenny bus.
Yeah, we can fit Jenny in a parking spot. It's like the biggest vehicle that you can possibly get to fit in a parking spot. And that was totally lucky. Like, we're not taking any credit for that. So, Brielle, I hope that answers your question.
Hey.
What are you doing, Dean?
I'm sitting on my nature's head right now while I'm talking to you.
It looks super creepy.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Well, we're about to get going here. Kaylee's just whipping up a little smoothie, I think.
Well, today, what we got for you is...
That's my wallet. That's why things go missing.
We got some fresh almond milk out of a box. We got some...
Sounds fresh.
Some spinach, some bananas, and
Shout out to Nate Murphy.
Vega protein and greens.
And with that, brings us to our second question of our Q&A.
How do we make money? Sponsorships, just like this. Just kidding. That brings us to the next question of the day, which
I got one. It feeds off the first question.
Okay.
It's from Trenton Alley.
Trenton Alley.
And they want to know, what's the biggest disadvantage of living in a bus? I got one already. Let's see what you come up with.
What were you gonna say?
Gas.
Oh, gas. Well, I mean, that just depends on how far you're traveling, though.
Yeah, but it's more expensive.
You're spending way more money on rent than you would be on gas. Hold.
You done over there?
Yeah.
So compared to living...
Okay, I'm done.
Get your hand off it. I don't trust you. And that's like one of the only disadvantages I can think of, don't you think? It'd be really nice, though, if I was gonna be
living in a bus over a different type of vehicle.
I would say the biggest one is gas, but maybe what about in general?
It's very, very bumpy on the road.
And we're like, this really isn't even that big of a deal. Like,
No.
we are like reaching here.
Yeah.
So we freaking love living in a bus.
I feel like I need to like really dig deep to find a disadvantage.
So it's time to get out of this little rest area. It's a beautiful view, but it's time to get out of this rest area and get some miles in.
Big Papa Diener, this is the village, people. We're ready to roll out whenever you are.
Lobo are ready to hit the road.
Lobos is his new girlfriend.
I'll have you guys go first, and then I will try to keep up. Get on the bus!
We got a question I think only you're qualified to answer.
Ooh, I like this.
You ready for it?
Get ready.
It's from Tom Eric Artist. Hey guys, been following your YouTube channel for a while. I'm in the process of converting a Nissan Starcrafter now on a budget. Any tips for heating, propane, and electric? I live in Norway, kind of the same climate as Canada, range 25 degrees Celsius to minus 15 degrees Celsius. What advice do you have for Tom?
There's a few ways you can heat a vehicle. You could do it with electric, you could do it with propane, and you could do it with diesel. To do the diesel, you have to have a lot more knowledge in what you're doing, or have somebody that does. Propane's simple. Everyone gets those little buddy heaters. I have one that stays in my bus. It's a very large size radiant style, and that works really well, but propane causes condensation, so you're going to have moisture in the bus. The other thing is electric heat. That's tough to do because you need to have either a lot of batteries or a lot of solar or both, and it really drains the power, so that's not ideal. And the most important thing would be just to insulate really well and carry lots of blankets and things, but don't let your water freeze.
Nice work.
That's all.
Are you gonna come up and be my boo-boo?
What did you say? This is how Kaylee actually talks to Lola that you guys never hear.
No, don't put that in there.
No, it's going in.
You wanna come up and be my boo-boo?
You ready, my little boo-boo?
Hey! Quite positive we just had the most beautiful drive of our entire lives. Look at this. What? How is this real? What the hell? This is crazy. Anyway, this brings us to our next question, which is from TKing4415. Hold on, I'm going down a hill. Oh God. Which is from TKing4415. And he asks, what is Lola's favorite food? And before, I would probably say, oh my God, I'm so oversaturated. I mean, overexposed. That's better. And before, I would probably say peanut butter. But ever since we have been fishing and using that as our source of protein the last couple weeks, we obviously have to put a little bit aside for our baby girl, and she has been devouring every second of it. So to answer your question, Lola's favorite food is probably fish. But I'm gonna go take a minute here to put the camera down and soak up this beautiful view. So in the meantime, I'll show you guys some drone shots.
All right, guys, well, we made it to the Layered hot springs? Layered? Is it layered or layered?
I think layered.
Layered? We made it to the Layered hot springs. And before we get in, we got one more question coming from Ella Jane Travels. And she asked us, I love this question. She asked us, would you guys ever paint the outside of your van to decorate it? Yeah, when we were converting our bus, our whole thought process was, how can we save as much money and time as possible to travel? And to us, like the $500 or whatever it'd be to paint the outside of our bus, yeah, we'd rather use that to travel an extra 3 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever we could do with that. For us, like, we care about the inside because the inside feels like our home, but the outside, we don't really care about.
Hot over here. Deep, dude.
Keep going. Okay, this is a good one for you.
Okay.
This one comes from Lucy Goosey 0299.
Okay.
What is scaring you the most about this trip? Or any trip in general, whether it's the people, unexpected occurrences, or even each other?
Wow.
It's a good question. What do you think?
What's scaring me the most on this trip? I'll be honest, being away from cell service, civilization, or immediate help if anything were to go wrong.
So even while we were traveling in the States, when we would camp in areas that were pretty remote and that were out in the woods, Kayla would always have a hard time. I mean, it was new. It was a new thing for her, and
I feel much better that Dean's with us. We have another human being. This brings us to our next question. Is Dean single? And what is the answer to that, Jordan?
he's taken. Sorry, ladies. He's in a pretty serious relationship with Lola. Just kidding. He's a single man. But he loves Lola. So if you're interested, you better like dogs.
He's ready to mingle, ladies. Check him out. Schoolie. The Schoolie.
Slide right into his DMs. Who knows?
He'd love it.
And maybe you can just come along on this journey with us.
He definitely has enough room in his bus for another human being.
Alright guys, well, this one fell asleep on me early. Kaylee's all passed out. But we hope you enjoyed. I think this is our second ever Q&A. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And we'll see you next time. You want to smash the camera?